Kevin, of course, as we've discussed many times under Mark Stoops in recent years, the upgrade of talent has been significant. I don't know if there's a position that's more outstanding in terms of that upgrade, in terms of top end talent, and then also depth when you bring back three guys that all are first-rate SEC running backs, starting with, of course, Chris Rodriguez as we break down the running back position.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Kentucky, the running back spot is probably the running backs on the offense and linebackers on the defense are probably the two biggest strong points on this team heading into 2022. As you said, Rodriguez, it was huge. He thought long and hard about putting his name in and going to the draft. He decided to come back for another season, and he's got a real chance. I think he needs. I can't remember the exact number. It's like 1,200 yards to break the all-time school rushing record. So I think that kind of played a part in it. And he said 1,378 yards last year with 10 touchdowns. He did have the problem with fumbles last year. That may have been part of the reason why he didn't, maybe push harder to go to the NFL. But as you said, you have Rodriguez behind him. You have Juton McClain, ran for 165 yards, and we have your favorite guy, one of the best names in college football, Kavosiey Smoke. He's there. He's going to be right there with Rodriguez and McClain getting some carries. Ran for 416 yards last year. Kind of a great, change of pace. Rodriguez is in a lot of ways, I think, kind of like Benny Snell, just soon run over you as run around you. Smoke can do that too, but he has that speed. You throw those three guys in, and then you have Lavelle Wright behind them, who ran for 118 yards in limited action. And let's face it, Kentucky, as we know, Kentucky is not going to get away from running the ball, no matter how well Levis and those guys are. At its heart, Stoops is still an old school football guy. Still like to have that smash mouth football. Run over you. Run for 200 yards. Basically, if Kentucky could run for 200 yards and throw for 200 yards every game, that would be like the perfect offensive scheme. But like I said, you start with Rodriguez, you throw in Smoke, McClain, Lavelle Wright. Kentucky's overrun with riches at the running back position. So much so that a guy that I had always been high on, Travis Tisdale, who was a really really high star player coming out of Georgia, he ended up transferring. Just wasn't getting any playing time, and transferred. As transferred out of the program. That's how strong they are at running back right now. So that is the biggest, the strongest point on the offensive side of the ball, definitely.
No pure running backs signed in this 2022 recruiting class, although there's a number of guys listed as athletes. I don't know if any of those guys project at running back, but Kentucky certainly fortified and set at running back for 2022. And so they will look beyond that at a later date.